All right. Good Wednesday, July 9th, 2025. How are you doing this morning? Last night, Quarterback on Netflix premiered, and season two. And our boy JG16 is one of the, I guess you could say, cast members this year. I myself didn't watch it, but we will be discussing that, as well as getting some takes from you guys down in the chat. Today, though, boys, we are going to lead off the. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday right before, the last week before training camps kick off. Pardon my voice. I was playing in moldy drywall dust all day yesterday at work. But we're going to finish this week off with something kind of just some nice, easy going kind of stories for us over here at BleacherReport.com. Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, Micah Parsons headline NFL edge rankings by coaches and executives. We'll be poking around at that, a little top 10 with just a little bit of breakdown onto some of the players. I'm sure you know that our boy Aidan Hutchinson's probably going to be on that list-aroo, and we're going to be talking to you about that. Then we're going to go ahead and walk on over to A to Z Sports. We're actually going to be hitting them up twice today. As we said in the opening lines, quarterback season 2 is underway, and we have 5 biggest takeaway from Lions Jared Goff, Netflix's quarterback. Goff is just like Matthew Stafford in this one and only regard, because Matthew Stafford has big goofy white teeth and is kind of a douche, whereas JG16, quiet confidence and a true leader of men. So we'll go ahead and dive into that, and then as we get closer to training camp, we're going to be kicking it all hometown the rest of the day, and that is over at SI on Detroit. Training camp preview. Lions have the best safeties in the NFL. This is simply nothing more than self-gratifying, just a pat on my own back here. Christian Boer came out with this article, and it just confirms that I'm not the only one who's saying that Kerby Joseph and Brian Branch are the best 2 safeties in the NFL, and it's pretty awesome that we have both of these guys on roster. Kerby Joseph is on a Hall of Fame career trajectory. His numbers only match up to one other guy this early on in his career, and that is one Ed Reed. All right, and not to be outclassed or overshadowed, but Brian Branch in his own right is a destructive force. It's just when Kerby Joseph is making so many interceptions and in such a dazzling fashion. Brian Branch and his big hits are going to get a little bit overshadowed. But Brian Branch, a absolute elite safety in his own right. So it's just a little bit of a, I guess at this point, it's just a self-glaze. And then over back to A to Z Sports. Figured we'd end the week on a little ha-ha, funny man. Lions Dan Campbell emerges as the last man standing in an unlikely world-changing event. It's just something to kind of ha-ha our way out the door before the start of next week. So good morning, everybody. How are we all doing? Brent, first name. Mr. Detroit City, what's going on, dude? How you doing this morning, brother? All right, so if you guys want to take a look over here, for those of you here live in the chat, we do have a poll up. And it is, I was willing, but she wasn't ready. So I settled for option A, your hand. Option B, nothing. Or option C, you settled for a burger and a grape snow cone. Maybe you end up just dropping her off early, but you don't go home. Down by the river on a Friday night at Pyramid of Cans in the pale moonlight. As you guys can tell, I'm being a little goofy. Oh, what's up, Chase from up north? Got away with the lady, dude. Look at you scooting out of the city in the middle of the week, brother. Hell yeah, nice, dude. That's what's up. You up there all weekend into the weekend? Got yourselves a nice little getaway, little vacation? That's awesome, dude. How up north we talking? You all the way up north in the UP, or do you just go northern mitten? That's dope. If you guys haven't already, till Sunday, excellent, brother. Oh man, I am mad jealous of that, dude. That's a Sheboygan, nice, dude. Oh, that's awesome, dude. You're gonna have. Hope you have a good time, bro. Hope we're getting stormed on down here pretty good. Hopefully that shit avoids you, dude, and you just get to have a nice chill little vacation up there, brother. Don't party too hardy, but party enough to enjoy yourself. So, if you guys are new to the channel here, would you kindly walk on over to that subscribe button, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy what we do here and want to be a part of the team. Ring that notification bell so that you never miss out on any of the flaming hot content you have coming out of my Cheeto-looking ass. Then, just so you're aware, we do go live Monday through Wednesday, 10 to 11. We are going to be expanding to 5 days a week, though, so that announcement will come next week. We'll let you know what day next. I'm just out here just teasing you guys. I'm a tease. I'm a tease. What can I say? Just go ahead and keep an ear to the ground for the old buffalo on when that announcement should be made next week. And then go ahead and do the old razzmatazz. Assault that like button. Hit it with the old 2 pieces and a biscuit on the way out the door. And then the number one thing you can do, the absolute S-tier move that you guys could do. Now, I am terrible at networking. I am not the most pleasant individual to be around sometimes. I have literally been called somebody that has an overbearing personality that bullies others into submission. So networking, not my best suit. Not what I'm really skilled at. I'm good at talking into the microphone. So I need you guys to do me a huge favor here. And you got to do the heavy lifting for me here, bud. If you could just go ahead and share this video around, right? It's like the best thing we can do for the algorithm, right? Now, I'll be honest, you guys have been sharing this around quite a bit. I looked into the analytics the other day, and you guys have been aggressively sharing this around. I really appreciate that. We are climbing towards 700 subscribers, getting there closer and closer just about every single day, a little bit more. By the start of the regular season, we are going to be rip-roaring and rocking and rolling, and that is completely because of you guys. So if you wouldn't mind kindly just sharing this video around, go ahead and click that share button, copy this link. And if you don't want to share it around on your well-cultivated and highly manicured social media presence, which I completely understand, nobody wants Nana knowing that you're a fan of the Hat and Beard Show, because then Nana might come to my channel. And if she looks like Mary Berry, it is very much on like a Donkey Kong. So what you can do is you can just copy this link down onto your clipboard. You can do it 2, 3, 4 times. It counts every single time as a share. And the algorithm, the old algorithm, it doesn't know. And it's awesome. So it's a little workaround that you guys can do for me. Now that we have all that out of the way, and I appreciate y'all in the chat hanging out, suffering through this. Sorry about the voice, guys. I really am. It's cooked. Throat's cooked. Ate moldy drywall all night last night. I was eating it. I came back like Oliver Twist, and I was like, "Excuse me, sir. I want some more." Because the old fuddy-duddies couldn't quite pick up the slack, so here we are doing our thing. But let's get into the show.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
Good morning, Kerry Simtich, my guy. I completely agree with you. Even after a horrible game, I'm assuming you mean our boy JG16 settles down and gets back in the groove. Jared Goff is, well, he's a modern-day stoic in the pocket. Doesn't get flustered. I mean, like you say, even in the Houston game, having a career turd night, still manages to figure out a way to pull a rabbit out of his keister. Stays cool, calm, and collected, even when under pressure. That's why look, dude. The mainstream media slept on JG16 when he came here to Detroit, and they still, I think, grossly underrate the importance of what he means to this team. JG16, dude, he is that guy. He is the leader of this team. He is the quiet leader of this team. Yeah, he's not Alex Anzalone. He's not Penny Sewell. He's not going to go out there screaming. Yeah, he does get hype, but he is for lack of a better term, Jared Goff is very businesslike and very politician-like whenever he's on camera. My guy is very good at saying almost all of the right things all of the time, but doing it in a non-condescending, whiny attitude, which is why I think ultimately Small PP Benedict Arnold Johnson. Oh, Small PP Benedict Arnold Osama Ben Johnson, the trader in the Windy City. There, got it all in. Is going to struggle with old finger paint there, fingernails. Caleb Williams, because Caleb Williams has a bit more of an ego to him than he is used to dealing with Jared Goff. Jared Goff has no ego. Jared Goff lost any ego that he might have had after he stooped McVay's wife and then was traded to Detroit and left for dead. And then piece by piece, brick by brick, Big Brain Brad Holmes and Motor City Dan Campbell slowly rebuilt Jared Goff into what we have now. And Goff has embraced that. So we're just like super lucky to have JG16 under center. Goff will stay in the pocket and deliver a pass until his ribs are poking out, a la Terry Bradshaw. Dude, yes, I like that. I'm going to send some heart emojis that way, dude. Brent, hell yeah. Hell yeah, you guys. Actually, Brent DeWitt, that's actually the one thing that they do compare him to is the toughness of some other former Detroit Lions quarterbacks that we're not necessarily fans of. But let's get into the lead story here, and that's coming to us Flum. It's coming to us Flum Bleacher Report. It's coming to us from the Bleacher Report. The Trade Federation has built a blockade. Myles Garrett, T.J. Watt, Micah Parsons headlining NFL Edge ranking by coaches and execs. Myles Garrett is already the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history, so it's only fitting that he is regarded as the best player at his position by people around the league. In ranking of the top 10 edge players by NFL coaches, scouts, and executives by ESPN, Jeremy Fowler, Garrett came in at number 1 ahead of TJ Watt and Micah Parsons. And I can't argue with that, right? I mean, I'm going to let my hometown biasy go ahead and just bleed on through here and say Aidan Hutchinson is the best edge player in the NFL. Although the body of work that Myles Garrett has amassed and continues to amass, unfortunately outshines the lightning strike that has occurred every single year for 3 years, 2.5 years for Aidan Hutchinson. Here's how the full list stacks up. Myles Garrett, number 1, Cleveland Browns. Number 2, TJ Watt for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Number 3, Micah Parsons, Dallas Cowboys. Now, those you can't really argue with, right? These guys are all game-changing players in their own right, which is why I do think Aidan Hutchinson needs to be brought up a little bit. But these 3 guys are all, without a doubt, the absolute definition of game wreckers, right? They are momentum shifters. They are franchise-defining players. They are one-man wrecking crews. Micah Parsons, so honestly, from 3 down, it's still a question mark, okay? But number 1 and number 2 on this list, these guys are Hall of Famers, right? They will be in the Hall of Fame, right? I mean, TJ Watt, maybe not, but he did come close to breaking that single-season sack record, or at least I believe he tied it. And Myles Garrett has a very good chance of being the all-time sack leader in the NFL. I'm just saying. Then we get on to number 4, a odd fan favorite here in Detroit. I'm a big fan of Mad Max, and I think it's pretty cool that Eastern Michigan, while being arguably one of the worst programs in the history of college football, I think it's pretty cool that Max Crosby turned around and tried to help his alma mater, and then in turn they named the field after him, which is that's pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? I do like that. So Max Crosby, again, a game changer, game wrecker, and the pipe dream we all could just fantasize about, an alternate universe where somehow the Lions acquired Max Crosby at the trade deadline instead of Zadarius Smith, and we just have the most insane pass rush duo for the next 6 years in the NFL. Number 5, Nick Bosa for the 49ers. I'm not necessarily upset with that. I would probably switch Trey Hendrickson and Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa, a little bit of a issue with maybe being availability being the best ability, not his best ability. But when on the field, elite level talent. Trey Hendrickson, again, game changer, though getting a little bit long in the tooth, right? So that's why we can probably see Nick Bosa and Trey Hendrickson sliding down. Now you say, well, why not T.J. Watt and Myles Garrett? Because they still continue to produce at this young man level, right? T.J. Watt and Myles Garrett, although being older, right, still produce at an Aidan Hutchinson, at a Will Anderson level, right? These young guys, they still are producing at that level, whereas Nick Bosa, Trey Hendrickson produce high, but on the wrong side of the father time battle. You know what I'm saying? And then at number 7, our boy Aidan Hutchinson, Detroit Lions. As a fangirl of Aidan Hutchinson, I would like to see him up on that list a little bit higher, but I can't argue with it. These guys are being incredibly fair. Will Anderson Jr. coming in at number 8. I would have loved for some way for the Lions to have acquired him in the draft, but I'm not mad about how that draft ended up shaking out. Danielle Hunter for the Houston Texans. Houston coming in with 2 big rush edge. And Danielle Hunter, again, though, only thing holding him back is father time. And then you see Jared Verse, another young, absolute young gun, rounding out the top 10 for the Los Angeles Rams. And boy, the Rams are pretty lucky to have gone from Aaron Donald to Jared Verse, and now Aaron Donald and Jared Verse. It's fucking wild. The top 3 of this year's rankings is exactly the same as it was in 2024. Watt actually had the smallest gap from his highest ranked first to lowest third among the people surveyed. Quote, "He's still the gold standard for me," a veteran AFC defensive coach told Fowler of Watt. "He completely wrecks a game, and he can do everything." Garrett's lowest ranking was 4th, and Parsons was 6th. One coordinator explained that the Cleveland Browns star is the, quote, first person you think of when it comes to how much of your game plan is focused on stopping him. That's true. You can check this out. Let's check out this little clip here.
From the red zone.
Hang on. I don't want to risk getting copyrighted. Here you go. See Myles Garrett. Boom! Just. That's that shit. That's that what I'm talking about. Myles Garrett, Hutch. You just like when they get. Hang on. When they get off the, look at how fast he's getting off. He's out of his 3-point stance and already taking a step literally as the ball is snapped. Ball's moving. So obviously defense is always reacting to the play. Offense knows when the ball is going to be snapped. Ball is moved. Ball under the center, and the first man with his hand off the line is Myles Garrett. Look at him right there. See him right there, Myles Garrett, first man, and he's already literally head and shoulders. I want to get back to where I had you. Come on now, fat hands, McGee. He is already. The ball has just barely, if not yet, cleared the center's ass. And Myles Garrett is look at the other defensive ends. Still got both hands in the dirt. Defensive tackle, hand in the dirt. Defensive tackle, hand in the dirt. Myles Garrett is already head and shoulders farther ahead in his progression than the rest of the defensive line. His head has already crossed the line of scrimmage before the ball has even cleared the center's ass. That's what I'm talking about by elite level. These guys that literally as the ball is snapped, you know that the play has already been disrupted because of the ability. Look at him, head and shoulders. He's already got an advantage over the blitzing linebacker coming out of a 2-point stance with almost a free run on the wide side of the offensive tackle. And here he comes, Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett going against the left tackle. Look at how he's already bending. The bend he's already got on the pocket. Already changing it. Now, the unique thing about Myles Garrett here is when your defense has players that you can coordinate a game plan around, Myles Garrett is going to bend this pocket around, but you're going to blitz your linebacker into the other gap here, not allowing Trevor Lawrence any room to step up into the pocket. So his options are either get sacked by Myles Garrett or get stuffed in the face by this blitzing linebacker coming in at 20 miles an hour, right? Here we go. Myles Garrett already beat his man. He's already beat his man. Trevor Lawrence is still in his drop back, and Myles Garrett has already beat his man. So let's just watch this play finish out. And there he goes. Already beat his man. Boom. Woo! Oh, what's up, Beantown? How you doing, Butcher? How you doing, brother? Certain defensive dudes were put on this earth to ruin fuckers' days, dude. Yes, bro. That's what I'm saying about like a game changer, dude. That's what I'm saying. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? Good to see you, dude. Fowler noted Garrett received at least 70% of first-place votes for the second consecutive year. Parsons, who could soon pass Garrett as the highest-paid non-quarterback, may have been dinged a little because of injuries, caused him to miss 4 games last season. Even though he only appeared in 13 games, Parsons still finished 2024 with 23 quarterback hits and 12 sacks. Fowler added his pressure rate of 19.1% was the best in the NFL. The Las Vegas Raiders star Mad Max Crosby, who was rewarded with a historic contract extension of his own, was the only other player who received a first-place vote. Just to go with what I told you, what I was saying about how Max Crosby is just kind of that cusp edge guy. That's about where the cutoff is, you know what I'm saying? In fact, beyond the top 4 players, no one else was ranked higher than 3rd on any of our ballots received. Aidan Hutchinson is the player whose ranking may have been most impacted by a major injury last season. He was on a Defensive Player of the Year pace with 17 quarterback hits and 7.5 sacks in 5 games before suffering the broken tib fib against the old dirty Cowgirls on October 13th. Let's go ahead and watch a little highlight of Hutch. Sorry, I got to mute it. Don't want any. And again, hang on. Let's just watch it all from start to finish. Boom. Oh my God, dude. Watching Aidan Hutchinson play is just poetry. Just pure poetry in motion. I mean, this is what I'm saying about how he's going to be the most disruptive player in the NFL this season. He's going to be playing like a man possessed. So here we go. Let's go. Let's grab this little doodad here. And we're going to go getting set. Signal. Here we go. Silent count. Boom. The ball is snapped. See, this is where Myles Garrett had already racked, but unfortunately Hutchinson's hand is still in the dirt. Still in the dirt. All right, we're coming out of our stance. All right. So, there is the big difference. Okay? The explosiveness off the line. That's where Myles Garrett has Aidan Hutchinson beat at this point in his career. Myles Garrett had already cleared head and shoulders. He had already gotten his hand out of the dirt, into his second step, head and shoulders, cleared the defensive line and into the line of scrimmage. At this point, where the ball is under the center's ass, maybe just clearing his old keisteroo there. But then Aidan Hutchinson, probably a little bit faster than Myles Garrett. His skill set is a little bit differently. Aidan Hutchinson has this fantastic spin move. Here we go. Brought the running. Looks like the running back was brought out to chip. Aidan Hutchinson is going to win that block 100 times out of 100. And boom, get off me. Now, as you can see, they've shifted protection. You got 3 guys. You got 3 on 2 over here with a chip block, right? So Aleem McNeil and I believe a linebacker over here, or maybe a Levi Onwuzurike here, are going to be coming in, boom. But see, now Hutch has this huge arc that he's got to clear. Now just watch how quickly, and this is where Myles Garrett had already beat his man off the line and then used brute force to collapse the pocket around. This is where having a blitzing linebacker to come up here, Trevor Lawrence had room to step up into the pocket, but this is a wide lane for a quarterback, and we get torched on this all the time. Think Lamar Jackson, think Josh Allen. And Aidan Hutchinson, though, has the ability to collapse his pocket around against not as mobile quarterbacks like a old goofy white teeth Matt Stafford. So here he comes. The tackle. That offensive tackle is never going to be able to. So Hutch has already pivoted and on a beeline for Matt Stafford, where the offensive tackle hasn't even turned and been able to make a move towards Aidan Hutchinson. Smartly, though, he doesn't turn his hips where he could just, well, at this point, if I was the offense tackle, I'd turn my hips, catch Aidan Hutchinson just on the shoulder and run him out. Just use his momentum to run him out of the play. Ideally, assuming that you have enough upper body strength to stop the spin move that would come, or he just claps down on top of him. But here he comes. Aidan Hutchinson's already got him cooked. He's already a full body width past the offensive tackle. All he can do is touch him a little bit. And by then, 6'7", Aidan Hutchinson with a giant wingspan is going to come in and grab your quarterback, or at least completely disrupt the play. Now, here you can see a significant hold, if not a face mask. Hutch beats it, breaks through. This is where you're finally able to get that blitz that little stunt game that we played with the defensive end to come around into the pocket. And then we're going to disrupt the play. Matt Stafford's got to try and get mobile. He's not mobile. Here comes Hutch literally flying from the 21-yard line. He's at the 21-yard line. Looks like he's going to take off from the 21. And does he jump with two legs? Oh, yes. Okay. So he jumps with 2 feet from the 21-yard line and is making contact with Matt Stafford at the call it the 23.5-yard line. So a whole body length. He's not even jumping. He's just body flying. Then he's going to finally grab onto him at the 24.5 and bring him down at the 26-yard line. So he's going to make his jump from the 21 and finish the play at the 26. Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. Yeah. You got to love it. You got to love it. Per Fowler, Hutchinson had 35% pass rush win rate prior to the injury. Danielle Hunter led all qualified players with 26% pass rush win rate. He was on his way to top 3 with Garrett and Watt, one NFC exec told Fowler. Among players who could break into the top tier next year, Jared Verse came in at number 10 with a terrific rookie campaign. The 24-year-old helped ease the sting of Aaron Donald's retirement by recording 18 QB hits and 4.5 sacks for the Los Angeles Rams in 2024. The postseason provided a breakout moment for Verse, who recorded 2 sacks and 2 quarterback hits to help keep the game close in the Rams' 28-22 loss to the dirty Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC divisional round. So some food for thought. What do you guys think down in the chat here? Let's see what's popping off. Oh, nicely. You guys are getting a little good with it. I like this. Keep it up. Can't wait to see the year next year after Hutch balls out, dude. Yes, Brent, I completely agree, dude. I told you Hutch is gonna have like 50 sacks. Another copyright incoming. Yeah, dude. That's what. Brent, I'm pretty sure that I'll get copyrighted on that, but whatever. At this point, I don't care. This week, I don't really care. Hutchinson gonna dominate that list this year, dude. Yes. Hutch, I'm calling. He's going to set the NFL single-season sack record, Sam. Beantown, certain defensive dudes. Yeah, dude. We talked about that earlier. Garrett only got 70% of the first-place votes, so the list was compromised by 30% of idiots. Yeah, Brent, dude, yes. Thank you, dude. Frank the Tank. Dude, good morning, brother. Good to see you, man. Thank you, dude. At the end of his career, Aidan Hutchinson will have a better career than Myles Garrett. Multiple Super Bowls. Go Lions, dude. Yes. Frank the Tank, East Side, brother. I love where your head's at with that one, dude. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hutch is going to win Defensive Player of the Year this year and Comeback Player of the Year. I really wanted to put money on it, but I'm trying to be financially smart, but I really want to put money on that Aidan Hutchinson Defensive Player of the Year bet. Man, that'd be sick. All right, if you guys haven't already, would you kindly walk on over to that subscribe button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Ring that notification bell. Do all the things like, share, comment, subscribe. If you're watching post-show, feel free to comment along, dude. I try and respond to as many of your guys' comments as I can down in the post-show comment section. My lady, the actual football fan of the relationship, says hi. What's up, Ms. Chase? How you doing? You guys up on your little vacation up in Sheboygan? Did you guys just get up there? Or did you get up there last night? You got yourself a little getaway, little getaway action. That's what's up, brother. Well deserved too, man. You guys, if you guys don't know, everything's been coming up. Chase recently. He's got himself a big promotion at work, dude. He's been grinding it out, man. And he's been helping me out on the back end tech-wise. more than he really should, dude. Like seriously, Chase, I appreciate it a lot, dude. So you guys, let's give Chase a big what's up for all the help he does here on the channel and the things have been coming. I mean, we like to see the success of the community around here, right? Like, come on, man. She's been up here since the 4th. I just came up for the week. Damn, dude. So she's just been up there. Living wild in the north. She go beyond the wall. You guys are just being wildlings up there? Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. All right, so 5 biggest takeaways from Lions. Jared Goff on Netflix's quarterback. Goff is just like Matthew Stafford in this regard, and I hate that comparison. I'm sick of hearing Matt Stafford around here. I'm over Matt Stafford. Netflix has officially dropped season 2 of Quarterback on Tuesday, and this year's version features Detroit Lions quarterback Jared Goff. We just finished the season, and here are the 5 biggest takeaways. Yeah, it was great to get some major insight on how Stumblebum play came together. The initial version of the play had Goff fumbling on purpose. Thank God they went away from the idea because that could have gone poorly. We got to see Goff and the Lions offense work on the play at Allen Park and realize that things could work even better if Jahmyr Gibbs also fell down. It was cool to see the different levels in how a play evolves. Goff responding from pressure in Houston. The game against the Texans was easily Goff's worst performance of the season, but it was simultaneously the game in which you knew the Lions were in good hands with Goff and that paying him all that money was a good idea. Could you imagine if we had a rookie under center? Could you imagine what that game would have looked like if we'd have gone that disgusting, stupid route of taking oh God, who's the Packers backup quarterback? Malik, the kid from Liberty. Oh, dude, people wanted us to take him at number 2 overall. Oh, my good God, what is his name? Exactly. The reasoning is because he overcame 5 interceptions and then balled out down the stretch and led the Lions to a win. In the show, you get to see how, at no point, Goff cracks during that game. He's none of that. I'm seeing ghosts out here, man. He keeps the same attitude throughout, despite the frustration of the turnovers. That's what you want from your quarterback. Goff is like Matthew Stafford in the sense that it might take a shark biting his leg to get him out of the game. Matt Stafford. This was one of the coolest things about the show. The big thing you can always remember about Stafford's time in Detroit is that he played through everything until his team just refused to let him play through a broken back. Stop glazing Matt Stafford. There's 2 things Matt Stafford was good for in Detroit. One, he threw all those nice, beautiful, deep passes to Calvin Johnson and counted for the majority of Calvin Johnson's Hall of Fame career, right? The numbers, right? And the other thing Matt Stafford did in Detroit was he was part of the package deal that brought Jared Goff and those first-round picks to the Lions in this rebuilding effort that turned us into an actual competitive franchise. Goff showed that he's very similar. That ankle injury he had against the Titans looks pretty bad, and you can tell that it was bugging him even after the game. And going into the Texans game, he kept playing through it. Then after that hit Frankie Louvu put on him in the divisional game, he immediately kept telling the trainers that he was going back out there while they were trying to get him in the blue tent to evaluate for a concussion. He said multiple times that there was no pain he wouldn't play through. The Lions should be happy to have that again. Also, true grittiness versus desperation to get a bag. Jared Goff is literally the embodiment of all things that we want to be as an organization. And then you meet Christian. This was really the first time the Lions have had a chance to get to know Christian Goff outside of a now infamous Sports Illustrated swimsuit shoot in which she found out the Lions had won their first game of the year in 2021. That was talked about in the show. Outside of that, she helps Goff memorize plays. She sets up an awesome Christmas tree. She bawled her eyes out after the loss to the Commanders and then went to the ultrasound with her and Jared. While Jared may be like Matthew, we learned that Christian is not like someone else. That's right. Kelly Stafford is a bitch. And then finally, Quincy Goff. I mean, come on. The dog is awesome. Yeah, it's something that I've seen multiple times whenever people talk about Jared Goff is Malik Willis. That's his name. Thank you, Mr. Detroit City. See, you guys, the chat, you guys You guys, dude, who needs Chat GPT when I have the chat right next to me? You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys are on it. Kings of the North coming for the third time. This dude. I don't see in the near future any reason why we can't just continue to win the North. Why we don't just have a whole banner of just like year after year after year after year after year. Like, there's no reason why we can't become a dynasty with what we're building here. You know what I'm saying? Chat's going with Frank says Mr. Goff will be better quarterback in Detroit Lions history than Matthew Stafford will ever be. Matthew Stafford did not win nothing here in Detroit. Goff will take this franchise, and I believe he says they're going to take us to the Super Bowl. I think Jared Goff will be the first Lions quarterback to win a Super Bowl in the Motor City. And when that happens, Jared Goff will solidify himself as a first ballot Hall of Famer. Number 1 overall pick, the guy who captained the ship through rebuilding the worst franchise in sports history. Okay. If Jared Goff wins the Super Bowl here in Detroit, Jared Goff will be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Minnesota's not winning 15 again. Sam, I agree with you, dude. Minnesota, I think, got real lucky last year. Sam, pass that joint this way, bro. Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I eating all that moldy drywall dust. Yeah, I don't see Minnesota winning 15 games again, dude. They're just not that good. They're just not that good. And I don't think McCarthy's going to be that good. I don't think JJ is going to be that good of a quarterback at the pro level. If he was, I hate to say it, but if he was, I think they would have tried to bring him back last year and just season him a little bit, despite the success that they were having with Sam Big Forehead Darnold. I think they knew they weren't going to re-sign Sam Darnold. I think they knew that was the plan the whole time. I think Sam Darnold was an incredibly lucky insurance policy that worked out for him. You know what I'm saying? JJ is okay, but not that good. Yeah, Sam, I agree. He's not that good. He's one of a few guys who can fling it at a really high level. Let's be honest. There's like maybe 45 guys on planet Earth who can play quarterback in the NFL. He's one of those guys, but just because you can play quarterback in the NFL doesn't mean you can play quarterback in the NFL at a high level. And he's in arguably the most competitive division in football. He's walking into a buzzsaw of a lineup having to play the North, twice, to each team twice, and that's going to be brutal, especially when he's got to go to a hostile environment like Lambeau. Unfortunately, they will win at least two. Minnesota will win at least 2 games this year, and that'll be both their matchups against the Bears, because the Bears aren't going to win a single game under Small PP Benedict Arnold, Osama Ben Johnson, the trader in the Windy City. All right, boys, let's move along. SI on Detroit Lions. If you haven't already, do all the things. Comment, subscribe, share, like, turn that notification bell on. We are, let's just say, is in terms of going 5 days a week. Next week, we're going to start gassing up the car. How's that? Next week, we're going to start gassing up the car. I'm pretty sure that all the engineers have it worked out, and we're going to be able to hit this hit this endurance race pretty well. I think we're going to be able to run a nice long season. And I think next week we're going to start adding all the fluids and fuel to the car before we really just hit that track and start running. So just keep your ears peeled down to the ground to hear the mighty buffalo. And that announcement coming soon. So, training camp preview, Lions have best safeties in the NFL. Lions safety tandem is the NFL's best in the 2025 season. The Detroit Lions got a massive season from Kerby Joseph in 2024, and the safety was rewarded for his performance. After leading the NFL in interceptions and earning first-team All-Pro honors, Joseph earned a 4-year contract extension that made him the highest-paid safety in NFL history. And very deservedly so. Every penny of that was earned. There was no reason why Kerby Joseph should be the guy, where he was drafted, the transition that he had to make 1 year in college to be able to come in and play at such an insanely high level and be then financially rewarded at the level that he was rewarded is, adds to the story. If he can continue to play at this high level, also first ballot Hall of Famer. Now, Joseph will be part of a defensive effort looking to help push the Lions over the top in their journey towards a Super Bowl. In Joseph and Brian Branch, the Lions have two of the best safeties in the league. However, they will need to identify some depth options at the position in the event of an injury. We're not going to finish that sentence. Here's a look at the Lions stand heading into training camp for the 2025 season. Reason for hope. The Lions have the league's best safety duo in Kerby Joseph and Brian Branch. Joseph was an all-pro selection last season after leading the league in interceptions, while Branch had another strong year showcasing his elite versatility. With the skill set of both players, the Lions have plenty of options when it comes to alignment in the secondary. Joseph has grown immensely as a tackler and can play in the box for a spell, and Branch has shown that he can play both in the box as well as the deep part of the field. Both players have been very consistent. Joseph has at least 4 interceptions in his 3 NFL seasons, including 8 last year, while Branch has 7 interceptions and 138 combined tackles in 2 NFL campaigns. The Lions finished 27th in pass defense last year, but having another year with these 2 safeties and upgrades at cornerback should lead to better performance in this area. Reason to worry. There's always concern for regression anytime a player has a career year as Joseph did last year. His consistency limits that concern, but he will need to prove that last year's 6% missed tackle rate is no fluke. Branch, meanwhile, is a reliable tackler, but doesn't have one glaring issue. Last season, he was fined a total of $70,896 over the course of the season, with the majority coming from helmet-to-helmet hits. As a result, safeties coach Jim O'Neill has taken initiatives to help avoid those plays in 2025. Additionally, depth can be considered a concern behind these 2 players. Avonte Maddox would likely be the next man up on the depth chart, but his versatility could lead him to being utilized in other areas in the event of an injury. As a result, finding a reliable 4th option amidst a loaded group of candidates would be paramount for the Lions, who know the importance of having good depth as much as any other team. A lesson we learned painfully so last year. Training camp battles with Joseph and Branch entrenched as the starting 2 safeties, the Lions will prioritize finding good backup options. Maddox was mentioned by O'Neill as a potential top backup option, but behind him, there is some uncertainty. The Lions have several players to choose from, including 2025 7th-round pick Dan Jackson. Because of his status as a draftee, Jackson might have a leg up. However, he will be challenged by the likes of Eric Hallett, Morris Norris, Lawrence Strickland, and Ian Kennedy. Norris and Strickland logged some experience on the active roster last season and could hold an advantage as a result. However, Kennedy is a good athlete who instantly caught the attention of the coaching staff during the local pro day and could make noise if he quickly grasped the defensive scheme. Player to watch. With depth being a primary area of focus, the Lions will have 4 preseason games to evaluate the best backup option. Jackson will get plenty of opportunities to earn a job, so he's a player worth monitoring throughout camp. A former walk-on at Georgia, Jackson has a background that will fit Detroit's organization nicely. He displayed plenty of grit in earning an opportunity on special teams for a team that won back-to-back national championships before becoming a full-time starter in his final season and making a big impact. Now Jackson must continue to improve as he looks to carve out a spot, be it on special teams or in sub packages defensively. What do you guys think about Dan Jackson? I don't know much about him. I'm pretty sure that we're not looking much past. We're gonna really hang our hat on our 2 elite safeties being healthy, and probably just hope that in a pinch we can rotate Avonte Maddox in. But ideally, these guys have proven to be healthy the majority of their career and should be allowed for us to really lean on and expect to stay healthy. So hopefully depth not becoming an issue at the safety position. But I am interested in what you guys think about Dan Jackson, Avonte Maddox. What do you guys think? Do you think they have a chance to make the roster? Kerby and Branch. Yeah, I love that nickname, dude. I seen that last year, a.k.a. Snatch and Grab. Detroit Lions will dominate division. Green Bay, 8 wins. Chicago and Minnesota, I don't think will win more than 6 games. Frank from the east side. Frank the Tank, east side. I don't think. I almost know for a fact that Chicago will win no games this year. Already predicted 13-4 Detroit. Hell yeah, dude. That's what I like to see, Frank. Every player on this Detroit Lions team will have a better season last year, but please, yes, dude, please, Dan Campbell, do not overuse Gibbs. I don't think we have any intention of overusing Jahmyr Gibbs. I think David Montgomery is just as vital of a component to the success of our organization, the success of our franchise, as Jahmyr Gibbs is. Dan Campbell has shown that he likes to have a big body bruising back and a do-it-all super hyper athletic, we'll just call it a fast back, okay, for lack of a better term. We had success with Jamal Williams at the big back position, and I think David Montgomery is a significantly better running back than Jay Willie ever could have been or ever would have been. And I think David Montgomery is still going to be just as heavily involved with the offense, although we will see people wanting to see Jahmyr Gibbs because he is so electrifying to see. He is such an elite level. I mean, a lot of people have him as the 3rd best running back in the NFL, but that shouldn't take away from what David Montgomery does with the identity of our offense and our team. We shouldn't change what we do simply because we have someone who we can rely on more. If you can extend his career by still having this big body banger of a back, think about the long-term benefits instead of a 3-year flash in the pan. You know what I'm saying? Green Bay will be our toughest because Hutch is coming after his ex-teammate JJ. I think Hutch is going to eat JJ alive, Sam, and I think Green Bay is going to be a little bit overrated this year. I think Detroit is going to be the cream of the crop in the NFC North. We're going to win the North easily. I just don't think the rest of the North is going to be as good as they were last year. Obviously, Minnesota is going to have a huge fall off. The Bears aren't going to win a single game. And the Packers, if Jordan Love can stay healthy, he is a good quarterback. But his top talent or his top threat is either a rookie wide receiver or an injury-prone Jaden Reed. You know what I'm saying? So not necessarily the most proven or reliable assets at this point in their career. Brian Branch is all dog. You cannot help it if a wide receiver ducks down when he's coming. But that's exactly it, Frank. A lot of the Brian Branch hits don't seem egregious or intentional. I think what you're seeing is diva wide receivers terrified that they're actually having to play against a grown man who wants to hit. I think what you see is Brian Branch likes to hit people. Not like he likes to hurt people, but I think he really enjoys making contact in the game of football. Oh, excuse me. Boy, did we time this show out right, guys. We got about 12 minutes left. Might run a couple minutes short, who knows, but we got another article. We're going to go back over to A to Z Sports, do a barrel roll back on over here. If you guys haven't already, would you kindly go ahead, subscribe, and do all of the things. Let us not forget there is a poll up here. I was willing, but she wasn't ready, so I settled for 8 votes so far. 25% of you said I settled for my hand. 25% of you said that I settled for nothing. And 50% of you said that I settled for a burger and a grape snow cone. Dropped her off early, but I didn't go home. Some of those fines seem unwarranted. Brent, I agree with you on that. I think that what you've seen is once Brian Branch got the label of being a big hitter, unfortunately, he's going to have the magnifying glass on him for the duration of his career because he is such a violent player. I love it, though. I don't want to see him tone it back at all. I want to see the NFL. So this is what the NFL should do for Brian Branch, okay? Now, obviously, we want to protect players. Brian Branch, though, is not an intentionally out to hurt players type guy. Yeah, he's a little bit aggressive. So what the NFL needs to do, they need to take and get all of the sand out of their vagina and realize that this is a grown man's game. So as soon as Roger Goodell can get all of the sand out of his vagina, then Brian Branch will no longer be fined, and he can play the grown man game the way the grown man game is supposed to be played. We do have some hard-hitting dogs on the D. Captain Jack does not care who he hits. Yeah, Jack Campbell. I'm telling you guys, Jack Campbell is going to be the next Brian Urlacher. Dan Jackson's all dog, huh? He's all heart. Frank, you ain't been wrong yet. Branch unfairly labeled. Just like, yeah, dude, Kerby Joseph being labeled a dirty player because he tackles a guy and the guy happens to hurt his leg in a tackle. That's not Kerby Joseph's fault, dude. That's a skill issue, dude. Maybe you should take some osteobiflex and have some tougher ligaments. Maybe Tyler Higbee, maybe his ligaments wouldn't be so fucked up. Did anybody ever check him to see if he was on gear? Huh? Anybody ever think about that? Maybe he's on gear, and that's why his tendons are dissolving, right? Maybe he's on Ozempic, huh? Yeah. Anybody ever think about that? No. We just need to blame Detroit for everything. All right, back over to A to Z Sports. We got a little jokey joke. Lions Dan Campbell emerges as the last man standing in an unlikely world-changing event. I'm not going to read all this, but I do agree with this. In my line of work, the early part of July is a hellscape. You're begging for something to write about because there is just nothing going on. Don't I know that? Just slogging through stories. I'm really appreciating you guys being just absolute gangsters, just straight OGs, Iron Men. Just, it could be said that you guys that have been slogging through this offseason, putting up with all these stories, listening to me ramble on, as far as like toughness is concerned and being like absolute just savages, it's like David Goggins is right here and you guys are like right here. You know what I'm saying? Like just a little bit above David Goggins for putting up with all this shit. On Wednesday, I was surprised with something that was a total joke, but he has to talk about it. He's a big horror fan. He loves slashers, haunted houses, paranormal stuff, and all that. He also likes zombies and often wonder what the world would look like if a zombie apocalypse went down. Who would survive? Yes, we've all been in our 20s, and we all used to think about that kind of stuff. I can't pause this. Okay. Oh, shit. My light keeps going out. I don't know what's going on. So, basically, the long and short of it is they did a little Polaruski here, gridiron gridlock, on who would survive among all 32 NFL coaches. And I think you'll agree with who the sole survivor is. So here you go. Here you go. Down at the very bottom, becoming a zombie immediately. The bastion of masculinity, Zach Taylor. Oh, getting trampled on. Mike McDaniel and Shane Steichen are all getting taken out right off the rip, right? Bottom tier. You don't want those guys. Probably wouldn't make it too far. Kyle Shanahan, Brian Schottenheimer, Kellen Moore, Small PP, Benedict Arnold, Osama Ben Johnson, the traitor in the Windy City. Makes sense. Liam Cohen, Todd Bowles. I think Todd Bowles would make it farther than you think. Matt LaFleur, Brian Callahan, Raheem Morris also I think would make it farther than you think. They're resourceful in their own way, so kind of a B tier here. John Harbaugh, Dave Canales, Pete Carroll, Mike McDonald. Did they? Oh, the Seahawks logo is just behind Mike McDonald. Kevin O'Connell, Andy Reid. Andy Reid should be down at the very bottom. That cheeseburger eating fuck ain't making it very far. Sean McDermott, Kevin Stefanski, Jim Harbaugh. Yeah, I like those. And then wouldn't be surprised if they survive till the end. This is your A tier guys. Brian Dable, Mike Vrabel, Jonathan Gannon, D'Amico Ryans, Sean Payton, Mike Tomlin, Nick Sirianni, Dan Quinn, Sean McVay, and Aaron Glenn. And then standing atop everybody. Standing upon the pile, look upon my work, ye mighty in despair. The final survivor. Living in a post-apocalyptic world off of kneecaps. He's only got one ass cheek and 3 toes at this point. He doesn't care. He's king of the wastelands, and that is the final survivor. Our very own Motor City Dan Campbell. So let's give it up for Dan Campbell being voted as the only NFL coach to survive the zombie apocalypse. Hell yeah. Let's go, boys. Let's go. That's awesome. First of all, he's in tremendous shape. There are other coaches who are in good shape, but Campbell is jacked to the gills still. And if you didn't know any better, you'd think he was still out there on the field every week. The man has grit. We all know it and we've all seen it. He does not care if the zombie has one butt cheek and 3 toes. He will take it out if he has to. Now, if we could just spend a couple of minutes talking about who isn't making it. Poor small PP Benedict Arnold, Osama Ben Johnson, the trader in the Windy City, isn't making it very far. He's joined by Matt LaFleur, who I think is a tier lower. Probably be a bit of complaining of the fans. O'Connell's resourceful. And Aaron Glenn could potentially survive. If one coach in the league who could survive along Campbell, I think it's probably Mike Tomlin. I was going to say Mike Vrabel or D'Amico Ryans. That guy could figure it out somehow. It's not the zombies that will take him out. It's old Aaron Diddly Doo Rodgers. So I just wanted to end the week on a little bit of a high note. What do you guys think? Think that's inaccurate? I think that's incredibly accurate. Dan is here to stay. Did you ever see the way Sheila looks into his eyes as she blushes? Oh, dude, yeah. She loves what Dan Campbell's done. And Sheila is a little bit of a fox herself. You know what I'm saying? Brian Branch leads with his shoulder every time. Poor Hatton Boobs has had to see me jump up and like point at the replay where his shoulder's leading and not his helmet, and like, oh, we've broken down Brian Branch a couple times and how he's unfairly targeted and how it's just bullshit. It's just bullshit. Got known for being a player. Attaboy. Boy is playing hurt all year. Yeah, dude. Yes, you're right, Frank. You are right. All right, guys. So we are going to go ahead and wrap this poll up. Unfortunately, the correct answer was I settled for a burger and a grape snow cone. I dropped her off early, but I didn't go home. Down by the river on a Friday night, a pyramid of cans in the pale moonlight. Talking about cars and dreaming about women. Didn't have a plan, just a living for the minute. It's stuck in my head this morning. So, all right, fellas. Thanks for hanging out all week. I appreciate it. Next week we will be back at it as we get just so close. It's so the training camp and the start of the NFL season is just giving me the worst blue balls. You know what I'm saying? It's just there's no methadone to help take off the curve with UFL. There's just off-season slop, and it's killing me. Might I recommend, if you want a little bit of a unique take on some NFL stories? Hey, Mr. Detroit City, hell yeah, brother, USA, dude. Let's go, dude. If you're looking for some NFL-adjacent content where the curator talks about stories of NFL players, check out Flemlo Raps. He's got some good stuff if you're looking to satisfy a little bit of an NFL itch. I'm going to continue to beat this dead horse for a week or so. If you're looking for a good movie to watch, telling you, you got to check out Warfare. You got to check it out, fellas. You got to check it out. God bless America. Go Army. Hell yeah, way down yonder on the Chattahoochee. Sam Armstrong, you know what's going on, brother. Man, I love the chat. You guys are some top tier fucking dudes, yo. Some straight up OGs. Have yourself a good weekend, fellas. Try not to do anything stupid. Don't get yourself into any trouble. It's not pay week, so don't call for bail. Check back in Monday morning. I want to see each and every one of you here before, we'll be making the announcement next week on when you can expect us to go 5 days a week and really light this old popscockle and get it going here. So appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for telling a friend. That's what we love about you. I've been Hattenbeard. You've been an attentive audience. Until Monday morning, bonga bonga. Frick off.